Hey, what's up? So, I'm just checking out these Republicans, in the primaries and stuff like that. And it's just like so sad that, the choices that they have. I mean, you kind of have to be a man to be president. You got to be a guy that stands in the sunlight, you know what I mean? And that's like a metaphor, you know what I mean? Like Obama, he stands in the sunlight. He's been doing it his whole life. He's been telling people what he's been doing, and he's been doing it. He's telling people, I'm going to be president. He's president. He went to Harvard or whatever. I don't know. He did stuff. Community organizing. He tells people about what he's doing, and he does it. And that's really a good way to be. It's not like the opposite of that, where you have people who lurk in the shadows. You know what I mean? And like, for example, this guy Mitt Romney, you can tell this guy has spent maybe now he's trying to come out into the sunlight, but now we see him, and then you dig a little deeper, and then you find out, oh, not a good guy. Because a lot of his life he was lurking in the shadows. He was one of those behind the scenes money guys doing shady shit. You know what I mean? Also Newt Gingrich. I mean, next to probably Dick Cheney, there's no one more lurking in the shadows than Newt Gingrich. You know what I mean? I think he is the bridge troll. He's the original one. I guess Ron Paul, he's been standing in the sunlight for most of his life. I mean, but that guy's been running for president since like 1988, from what I understand. So that's like a long time to be doing that. I mean, that's like over 20 years, isn't it? And he's got his principles and his ideals, but the fact of the matter is, it's just his policies would just, it would just devastate this country. I mean, there would just be way too many people falling through the cracks. And he says, yeah, that'd be fine. We'd be better off for it, but in the immediacy, I mean, I don't know how we could deal with all that, hardship. So a lot of people are not going to vote for him. Now we see how these primaries have been turning out, and it's like, all right, sometimes Romney wins, sometimes Gingrich wins. Ron Paul hasn't won any. I think he came in second a couple of times. And then you have this other guy who's still in the race, who's obviously a product of some kind of think tank or something, somebody nobody's ever heard of, some guy named Santorum, which apparently is just a frothy mixture of lube and feces, the product of anal sex, and nobody's ever heard of him, and he's winning all these votes and all these primaries. It's just crazy. I guess people are just looking at the ballots and they're saying, no, no, no. We got anybody left? Oh shit, well, I gotta vote for that guy because I don't want the other guys. But nobody's ever heard of this guy. I never heard of this guy. He came out of nowhere. All of a sudden he's in the fucking presidential race. I mean, that just raises a red flag for me. It's almost like, this guy has been lurking in the shadows, and then all of a sudden some think tank or someone came along and said, put some money behind this guy, and maybe he'll get elected. I mean, and another thing is, they could be rigging up the machines too. Also, who knows? Ron Paul could be winning all of these fucking votes, and then all of a sudden, they just say, "Oh, Santorum won. Santorum, oh Santorum." So there is a long history of voting fraud and machine fraud and stuff, especially with the Republicans. They win a lot of races like that. So check that out. Do some research. All right.